And now the web tools here. Web tools, you've got the Webster's dictionary, which is pretty straightforward. See, that even looks up the word. It looks up that word because you filled in up here. So mirroring, and then you've got the thesaurus, power thesaurus, which is this one. Let's put that word in there. And this has so many words. There are times that you're preparing for a teaching or a preaching or a Bible study and you can't quite get the word. So this is really useful for that kind of thing. And then we've got an article reader, something that I put together to make it a bit easier to read articles. For instance, let's say you've found an article, here's one on grace, and you want to read it, but well, this article, but the verses, the reference is there, but the actual verse is not the text. Now in this one it actually shows it actually has it, but so many don't. So what you can do is, come back here, and then copy that, Control C, copy, and then go to this article reader, put it in there, and choose the translation you'd like to read the verses in, and then click here. And there you see it comes up here. Now you can read this, but every time it comes up to a verse, it will give you the verse in a pop-up. So you don't, because when we read things, we really should read the verse that is quoted, the reference that's given, but many times we just don't do it. So this gives an opportunity. Now the way I've set this up is, this is the verse reference here, 1 Corinthians 4:7, but I've also instructed this script to give me the verse, because this is verse 7, to give me also verse 4 to 7 before that, and then verse 8 to 10 after that. So it can give you context. So you read the verse, but here you can read the context before the verse and after. So it gives you a little bit more. Now also, I use the Microsoft browser to do this. I forget what it's called, but anyway, the Microsoft one, and it's got a good audio reader in here. So if you left click and you choose read aloud,
every Christian can and must confess with the Apostle Paul, by the grace of God I am what I am, 1 Cor.
So sometimes you want to hear it read and read it at the same time, or you just want to listen to something. So that's also very useful for that. But that's very simple to use. Frequency word counter. For instance, you say you're studying what's this, Leviticus, and chapter. Here is chapter 4, and you want to do a study, so you select the whole chapter, copy, and you go to this word frequency counter, put your text in there, and then upgrade the table. So you find there's 1,100 words, 6,000 characters, 9 lines, and then here is the number of times that these words are in that passage or that chapter, and the percentage of it. So now, not surprisingly, chapter 4 is shall, offering, sin, Yahweh, bull, priest, blood, altar. So that's not surprising. But let's do the same for the whole book. Now I've got the text of Leviticus, the whole book of Leviticus. Let's copy that. Let's go back here and clear that. Now put in the whole book of Leviticus. Update table. Here we go. Now ignore Lee there, because that is just the here, LE for Leviticus. I would have thought is a common word, but that's not it. So what we see, starts to give you a feeling for the whole book. Lord, right, that makes sense. The Lord. Offering, it's what the Lord was instructing them to offer. And then must. These were commands. It's interesting that Leviticus is almost completely God speaking to the people, the only book that has so much of just God speaking to them. And you notice he gave them instructions on what they must do. But if you notice, if reading through Leviticus, there's no sense of God saying, now you must do this because of this and this and this. He just says, you must do that. You must do this, you must do that. And so it shows us the character of God, that it's how serious his law is, how serious his commands are. And it still applies today. So that's an interesting observation. You're a priest, them, the unclean. Now you can do a whole lot of study into that. And now let's go back. Frequency, image to text tool. Image to text. Sometimes you will take an image shot with the snipping tool or something like this. Your snipping tool on your computer, and choose the image. And it might be a whole passage within a book, and you don't want to type it all out. So you've got an image. Now you can put that image of the article that you've now have, put the image into your notes document. Or if you don't want to do that, you want text, you can select the file here and it will give you the text here directly. So that's another handy tool to have. And then this transcription service is very useful. Open the dashboard. Okay. Now, all you do is, I've got it off the page, you can't see there, but there's a transcribe files button. You click that, and then either you drag and drop a video that you have, or you can put a YouTube video in here of a message that you've been listening to and you really want to keep the notes. And this will give you a very good, it's the best transcribing service that I know of so far that is free. It can be an audio or a video file. You choose which setting you want, and I always go for the best in transcribing. Now the only thing is on a free account, you only get 3 daily transcriptions, and they are at a maximum of 30 minutes. And that's it for the web tools.